What's going on, everyone? Coach Aaron here, back again with another video to help you dominate the platform. Alright, so today we're going to do a little video going over how the flow of a competition is on the day of the actual competition from beginning to end. I made an Instagram post about this and I want to expand upon it a little bit in video form just to go over some of the finer points of the posts that I made and the different pictures. So let's head on over to my computer and we will go over it. All right, so I got the post pulled up here. The link to my Instagram is in the description below in case you want to follow along or if you want to save it or share it with anyone. So we're going to go right into it. The first thing when you arrive to a competition is the check-in process and then actually weighing in. So in order to check in, you're going to need the USAPL membership, photo ID, rack heights, equipment check, and opening attempts. So for USAPL membership, you have to have a current USAPL membership card. It can be the actual card printed out if you want to print it out, or you can just have it on your phone and show it. If you have it on your phone, I recommend taking a screenshot so it's saved on there as a photo rather than trying to go through your browser and pull it up on the Wi-Fi of the hotel or whatever, or on your phone service, as that could possibly be issues if there's like bad phone service, something like that in there. Then photo ID just needs to be any kind of ID that has a picture of you and your name so that it can be confirmed that that is actually you. And again, you can have that actual photo ID, like if it's a driver's license or something like that, or you can have a screenshot on your phone. Then you have to get your rack heights on the competition rack, okay? Some brands have different spacings in their hole sizes, and sometimes the warm-up room has a different brand than the competition platform. So you want to make sure you're getting it on the competition platform racks so that it is correct for when you go out there and do your attempts. Then you have to do equipment check. This sometimes has to be done before you weigh in, but sometimes it's anytime you want. So you can always go and do weigh-ins first and then come back later and do the equipment check. Just depends on the competition, so you always want to check with the meet director and see if you have to do your equipment check first or not. Then you have to give your opening attempts at check-in. If you're doing all three lifts, you have to do your opening attempt for squat, bench, and deadlift. And in pretty much 95% of the competitions, maybe more for USA Powerlifting, they are in kilograms, okay, not in pounds. So you have to know your opening attempts in kilograms, and you have to give a legal attempt. So you can't give some kind of like decimal like 101.683 kilograms, since we can't actually load that. It has to be in the jumps of 2.5 kilos, unless you're going for some kind of record that you can chip in that competition. Then you do your half kilo jump if you want. Other than that, it has to be 2.5. So it could be 100 kilos or 102.5 kilos or 105 kilos and so on. All right, and then the final thing is weigh-ins, okay? So weigh-ins start 2 hours before the lifting starts. So if your lifting starts at 9 a.m., the weigh-ins start at 7 a.m. and they go for 90 minutes. So from 7 to 8:30 a.m. is the weigh-in window. Okay, and what I recommend is coming to the competition as early as possible. So if the weigh-ins are at 7 and they open the doors at 7, then come then. But if it's open earlier, come at 6:45 or 6:30 so you can go through this process and get your rack heights and check in. So at 7 a.m. you can be the first one to get on the scale and weigh in. You don't want to wait until 8:15, 8:20, come rolling in and think you're gonna get through everything and weigh in by 8:30. Most likely you're gonna run out of time and they're gonna shut down the weigh-ins and you're not gonna be able to compete. All right, let's continue. So once that's done, in lower level competitions, they typically have a rules briefing at maybe 8:30 or 8:45 sometime during that window in the warm-up room. And they'll go over some of the basic rules and maybe what flight you're in, where the bathrooms are, that kind of stuff. So you are aware of everything for that competition before you start warming up. All right, then the first thing will be the squats are the first event, so you have to warm up for squats. If you are on the first flight and the lifting starts at 9 a.m., then you want to backtrack your warm-ups from that and start warming up so you're ready for that 9 a.m. start. If you are in the second or third flight, depending on how many flights you are, then you base it on the previous flight. So let's say you're in the second flight, you let the first flight warm up, And then at 9 a.m. when they go over to the competition area and they're doing their 3 attempts for squat, then you can start warming up your squats. So then once the first flight's done and they come back to the warm-up room, then you're in the second flight, you go over and you do your attempts, all right? And then they are 3 attempts. So we use the round system. So whatever the lowest weight is for the first attempt, that'll be the first one. And we'll go all the way up to the highest weight and then come back down for second attempts. Go back again in order of lowest weight, go through everyone to the heaviest weight, and then come back down for third attempts again, and same process. Once all the squats are done for however many flights there are, then there will be a break to set up for the bench press. The break is determined by how many flights there are. So if there's only one flight, there's gonna be a 20-minute break so that the lifters can all warm up for the bench press. If there's 2 or more flights, then there'll only be a 10-minute break, because you also get the break while the other flight is doing their squats. Then you can always be taking a bathroom break, eating, warming up bench press during that time. All right? Then this process just repeats itself. You warm up the bench press, you do your 3 attempts for bench press. Then there'll be a break again, depending on the number of flights. Then you warm up your deadlift, and then you do your 3 attempts for deadlift. And then finally, we go to our award ceremony, and then we do our drug testing. So in USA Powerlifting, USAPL, we do drug tests minimum 10%. So you have to stick around to listen to the meet director or referee, whoever is announcing or picking who the people are selected for drug testing. And of course, you want to stick around for the award ceremony. If you did win a medal or if you did win a best lifter trophy and everything, you want to be there for it. If for some reason you know you didn't place and you have to leave, you got to go on a flight or something like that, you got to drive home, then you want to check in with the meet director and let them know, and make sure you're not picked for drug testing before you leave. If you leave and they pick you for drug testing and you are not there, then it is considered a failure and you will receive a 4-year suspension. Let me get that 4 in there. There we go, 4-year suspension. So you want to make sure that you stick around and make sure that you know you haven't been selected, or specifically go talk with the meet director and get approval before you go. All right. But that is the whole process. Here's the summary again of the day of the competition. You come in, you do the check-in, you weigh in, you warm up your squats, you do your squats, you warm up the bench, you do your bench, you warm up the deadlift, you do your deadlifts, and then awards and drug testing. And then the breaks between the events are all dependent on how many flights there are. So 1 flight, 20 minutes, 2 or more flights, 10 minutes. But that's basically it. All the information is here as well in a more condensed form. And if you have any questions about the flow of a competition, you can always comment below and I will answer them for you. All right, see you next time.